actually spell it?
Yeah.
Nicola, and my surname is Mattoccan.
And how old are you?
16.
Let's start off by, you wouldn't mind just describing to me what mental health problems you have.
When I was diagnosed, I had post-traumatic stress disorder, emerging borderline personality disorder, and recurrent depressive disorder.
And were you told what brought them on or what caused it?
It was quite a lot to do with after experiencing a traumatic event, and like having a difficult childhood.
Right. And how were you, what are these conditions, what effect do they have on you?
It used to have a really big effect where I couldn't really function, I couldn't go to school, and I couldn't see my friends, and I wasn't functioning properly, but it's getting better.
When you say you weren't functioning properly, what do you mean?
I couldn't go to school, and if I could, then I couldn't concentrate. Like I used to, when I was in primary school, I'd get really good grades and I'd be gifted and talented, but then when I got ill, I couldn't do anything, and I just went down and down, and then I couldn't really do any of the things I normally do.
And what happened that led to you being admitted?
I just was on like a downward spiral, and that's what people thought was the best option for me.
You thought?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. No one explained what was happening really. I knew that I was going to a hospital, but I didn't know what to expect from that, and yeah.
It wasn't explained to you?
No, I just was told that I was going there, then I had to wait for hours, and then I was told that I could have actually went before to this place.
This is when you were 14?
Yeah, I was 14.
Did you have to wait long to get a bed?
Well, I was in A&E, and I had to stay there for about, I think it was more than 12 hours, for them to be seen, but then I had to wait loads of hours just to be told that I could have went before, because my dad was taking me to this hospital.
And you live quite close to a young person's mental health unit, don't you?
Yeah, like 5 minutes drive, I think.
And why weren't you taken there?
Apparently there wasn't enough beds.
And so what happened?
They sent me to a place in Woking, which I didn't need to be at. It was very, very secure, and I didn't need to be in a place quite like that, and it was quite scary because I didn't know what to expect, and then I was just suddenly in this place, and I was told I couldn't have my dad with me, and I was just like, what's going on?
And then on a subsequent occasion you were sent to Kent.
Yeah. I was in A&E again, and the only nearest bed available was apparently Kent, and then I was in there for about 5 weeks, and I'm sure a bed would have become available at the Bethlem, which is like 5 minutes away, but I was kept at Woodlands in Kent.
What was that place like?
It was okay, but the NHS, I think they want to get people out as soon as possible, which might not be actually right, because some people aren't ready, but when I was in a private hospital, they like to keep you in as long as possible because it's a business for them. So it was quite different to what I'd experienced before.
And in terms of contact with your family and friends, what was that like?
It was difficult because the only way that people could get there was in the car with my dad, and that was really tricky because my dad found it hard to get the money. He doesn't earn like amazing amounts, and it was difficult to find the money to travel there. It was because it's a long journey there and back, but so I couldn't see him as often as I liked, and my friends, they couldn't really come that much or barely at all, because I couldn't get there because it was so far away.
And so how often were you seeing your dad?
most of the time, but he wanted to be able to come every day, but that wasn't possible.
And what effect did not seeing him every day have on you?
I felt quite alienated. I was in a strange place, and I was just like, especially the first time, I didn't have a clue what I was expecting, and I was in a really strange place, and I couldn't see anyone I was familiar with, so it was uncomfortable.
Just try that one again. I mean, the effect of not seeing your dad as often as you wanted, what would you say that was?
It was very uncomfortable and unsettling because not being able to see a familiar face, that was really strange, and I was in a strange place, so it was just scary.
And you were 14 at the time.
Yeah.
And in terms of the effect that being away from your home had on your health and on your recovery, what would you say?
It probably made it harder because it didn't really help, because I just felt like in a place that I didn't know or understand or why I was there, and it made me feel like I was meant to be there, and it made me feel like I was more ill, and then it just sort of went on a cycle. But then sometimes being in a safe place did help, but it was tricky. Yeah.
When you look back on it all, what do you think?
It could have been a lot better, the experience. It could have been easier if I was closer to home, and it could have been a lot better, but I'm still grateful for the help I got, but it just could have been better.
And when you were in especially the place in Kent, because you were there the longest period of time, were you trying to get back to the close up of that? It's been disappointing anyway.
Yeah.
And what were the other patients in these places like? Were they around your own age? They could understand and.
Yeah, most of them were around my age, yeah, because I was in adolescent units, so there was no one above the age of 18.
And the staff were quite good?
Some of them.
What do you mean?
Some of them took me seriously and listened to me, but some of them, they just thought, oh, she's fine, she needs to just go. But when I was actually ready to get help, I felt very ignored, because they just was just like, no, you can go now, and it's just like, I'm asking for help, and they wanted me to go, and I was just like, But then some people, they was really nice and took the time to listen to me.
And in terms of, you've obviously become slightly more aware now of mental health and the issues surrounding mental health and young people and stuff. How do you feel the system works now?
It could be a lot better. I mean, a lot of people are ignored because their problems aren't classed as severe enough, and that's probably the thing that bugs me the most, is that if you just leave people to get worse and worse and feel more and more horrible because it's not classed as severe enough, then they're going to have more problems, and it's just worse for everyone. And I think too many people are ignored, and too many people are stigmatized when they actually want help.
Thank you for that.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you.